Hello and welcome. My name is Mike Centorani, Vice President of Sales Training for MatchCraft. For the next few minutes, I'm going to be speaking to you about some of the more common mistakes that we see salespeople make throughout the world. Just to give you a little quick background information, my company is one of the leading search engine marketing companies throughout the world, established back in 1998, and currently we handle over 150,000 search engine marketing campaigns for small and medium-sized business owners. My role is to work with these companies that sell these search engine marketing packages that employ sales forces of anywhere between 100 to even thousands of people. We have the opportunity, of course, to monitor and watch them in the real world and try to guide them and help them with better ways to interact with small to medium-sized business owners. As you can imagine, we see a lot of mistakes that they make, and what I want to share with you is some of the more common mistakes and things that you can do in terms of being able to guide and manage and train and help them to avoid some of those mistakes. Let's cut right to the chase. Let's talk about some of the things that you need to be thinking about immediately when you start to talk to a small and medium-sized business owner. The first thing that I would ask you is just a very simple question would be, what's the goal of the sales call? Now, most people will come back quickly and say, well, obviously it's to make a sale, and they would be right. That is the goal of the sales call. But the next question we would want to ask, because in 2010, this is something we see all the time, is it just to make any kind of sale, or is it to make the right sale? And again, most people would probably come back and say the right sale, and so the next logical question would be, okay, what is the right sale? Now, our definition of the right sale would be any sale where the sales rep is able to successfully understand what it is that business owner is trying to accomplish, establishing some type of specific goal, objective, or a need, and then being able to recommend the right type of solution that will help them meet that need. That's not always as easy as it sounds, though. Let me take a few seconds and just review some of the more common steps of a sales call process that most companies have already set up within their organizations. All right, the first step, and this isn't really anything that's unique, but before either a telephone sales rep or a field sales rep starts to talk to either a prospect or a customer, an existing customer, let's say in this example, there's usually some type of a planning or preparation step. These would be the types of activities, things that they would do before they would either even call to set up an appointment or before they pick up the phone to talk to them to try to make a sale or actually drive out to see them. The next part is a call opening, and again, every sales organization has in their steps of the sale a call opening. This part we're going to talk about in great detail in about a minute from now. And this is where many of the sales calls really start to fall apart, and we'll talk about what happens and why in just a minute. The goal of the call opening, if it goes as well as it possibly could, in most cases, I think most people would agree, that's not the place to make the sale. And it's not the place to even in a lot of cases save a sale if a client says that they may want to reduce the amount of spend that they have with you at this time or even cut back or cancel completely. Not necessarily the place to do that, but we see it a lot and we see it cause a lot of problems, and I want to talk about that at length in a little while. The goal would be, if it went as well as it possibly could, to be able to transition and successfully get to the needs analysis step, or some people refer to it as a needs assessment or discovery. There's a lot of different terms, but it's the same thing. This is the step where people are trying to understand what that prospect or client is trying to accomplish, and then the next logical step is then, do you have solutions that will be able to help that small to medium-sized business owner with whatever types of problems, concerns, needs, goals, objectives they have, match those needs and be able to help them out. Once those solutions are created, once they're presented, this is usually a part of the call where a proposal might be made, a presentation, a recommendation. Hopefully at that point the sales rep will try to do a couple of things: gain agreement in principle, in concept, that those ideas make sense, and then ultimately gain agreement in price. Now, up to this point, probably not a lot of things that are new, right? You knew most of these already. Most of the people that are watching this, companies that have sales forces, use a very similar process to this. Do some people take the planning step out of there and not even call it a step? Yes, they do. Do other organizations add 2 or 3 mini steps within these steps? Yes, they do. But for the most part, this is what you're looking at. Now, again, this looks simple enough. Very quickly, the funny part about this, and if you've been in the world of real-world selling, it may not be as funny to you, but your customers, your prospects haven't been through this training, so they don't know that there's 5 steps, right? Many of them will take you quickly off of this if you don't know what you're doing or how to handle certain things that may come up during the sales interaction. That's what we're going to talk about next.